Baptist Convention. This is Clara Luper. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
This is Clara, Pastor Reed.
Yes, President Reed.
How are you today?
I am fine today, sir, and welcome back to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, good to be home.
Okay, I want you to tell me about the new president of the Progressive Baptist Convention.
Well, we're quite proud. Oklahoma, we have for the first time, we have a president of one of our national Baptist conventions. In the person of Major Jefferson, who is, we know, the pastor of St. John Baptist Church, who was succeeded the great Dr. W.K. Jackson. And Major was elected president of that body on Thursday afternoon, unanimously. He was elected. As a matter of fact, he didn't have either anybody that ran against him. And so he was unanimously elected as president of the Progressive National Baptist Convention. And, of course, like I said, this is the first time in Oklahoma and that we have had a national president. We had some years ago, Dr. E.W. Perry, who was the pastor of the Tabernacle Baptist Church, served as one of the vice presidents of the National Convention, and he ran for the president, but he didn't win. And so we are just happy now that we have a president. And Major Jefferson, I feel will do a great job.
Well, he has no other choice. He's been well trained by that outstanding, I don't know what to call him, Reverend W.K. Jackson, who took him under his arms and trained him. And trained him. Go. When I heard the news, I say, go, W.K. Jackson, go. You continue to live in the preachers and the people that you have worked with.
There's no question about it. And Dr. Jackson, he was the one that was able to get Major in the position where he is, where he was to become the president some years ago. It was his recommendation in that convention. Of course, and Dr. Jackson is one of the founding fathers of the Progressive National Baptist Convention. And he was able to, it was his recommendation to get Major Jefferson in the position as one of the vice presidents, second vice president, and he moved up to the first vice president and then become president. So we're grateful for Jefferson, but we're just grateful for such a great giant like W.K. Jackson here in the state of Oklahoma, who has meant so much to all of us as young pastors. And we would not be in the position that we are. I'm president of the Oklahoma Baptist State Convention now. I wouldn't be in that position if it wasn't for W.K. Jackson. And so we're just grateful that he has gone on before us and laid the kind of foundation that made it possible for us to move up and go higher and higher in the denominational circles of our nation, of our great denomination. So we're proud of Jefferson here in Oklahoma, and like I said, he's going to do a great job. He has 4-year tenure.
Well, he has no other choice. He had better do a great job. I will tell you, if not, we'll really get on him.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
oh, yeah.
I would like to congratulate you on the leadership that you have shown during this beating crisis in Oklahoma City. I understand that there will be a meeting soon. Tell me about it.
Well, we will have on next Thursday, which is the 15th, there will be another community forum at Fairview Baptist Church at 7 o'clock on next Thursday evening. We're asking the community to turn out, and we will be giving a report to the community and where we are at this present time and what we will be, the direction we'll be going in the future. We are yet concerned about what has happened, and we're waiting right now on the report to come from our DA's office, our district attorney's office, on what they intend to do about the beating of Mr. Pete. But we will report all of this to the community on next Thursday night, and we ask the community to turn out at 7 o'clock on next Thursday evening.
Now, tell me who's leading this movement.
We have a coalition which is made up of the Concerned Clergy for Spiritual Renewal, which I am the president of that organization, and we also the NAACP, which is led, we know, by Mr. Roosevelt Milton. And these two organizations are leading that coalition here in our community.
Oh, well, then you're also calling for the leaders of other organizations to
All
join.
leaders of all organizations of our community. I mean, it's time for us to really stand together and present a united front here in Oklahoma City. And so we're asking all of the leaders of all of the organizations of the community to come and meet with us and join in with us in this effort. Because we're concerned about all the citizens of Oklahoma City. And of course, as you know, we are concerned about African Americans, but we're concerned about all citizens because I've had some calls even from some white citizens of our city who also have become concerned about police brutality, and I've had some white citizens who have also been victims of police brutality here in our city. So we're concerned about justice for all citizens here.
And where will that meeting be held?
That meeting will be held at the Fairview Baptist Church at 1700 Northeast 7th Street
What time?
on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock.
And you're asking all people to be present.
All of the people of our community to be. For the first community meeting, we had a complete full house. Fairview will seat over 1,000 people, and we had over 1,000 people there that particular night. So we're asking, we're just asking the citizens to come.
And then you're also calling on all of your co-pastors.
All of our pastors, the pastors of our community, all the pastors of our community to come and to be present on that night.
Well, I would like to publicly thank you for your support through the years. You have supported the NAACP Youth Council Freedom Center. You've helped to send young people to conventions, and that's why we are so excited because we will have the opportunity to honor you on August 24th.
Well, I appreciate that, Clara. I'm grateful, but that's my life, that's my ministry now, and most certainly I'm concerned, always concerned about our youth, the future of our youth, because number one is they've got to take our place. And really that won't be too long, you know. But I'll always be concerned about our youth, and I'll always be very supportive of you and the Youth Council of the NAACP.
You have proven it to us. You have not only talked that talk, but you have walked that walk, and I love you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
President Reed.
Have a good day.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have one of the saddest stories to tell you, as I see it, that I've ever told you. So stay tuned to the Clara Luper radio show because I do have a sad story to tell you. Well, this part of our program is brought to you by the Ultimate Valley Service, the ultimate selection for parking downtown in Bricktown, Oklahoma City. Now they have you, if you want to go to any entertainment, anything in Bricktown, all you have to do is to drive downtown. Go to the Mickey Mouse Steakhouse, and someone will pick your car up and park it using all of the safety devices that are possible. You can also go to Bricktown Brewer or Windy City. Yes, all made possible because of the Ultimate Valley Service, the best. You don't have to worry about parking. Al Dial has asked me to invite you to come by 934 Northeast 8th Street. He will be there to minister to your eye needs. It's a sad story as I see it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to see you. And I want to tell you a story that I hate to tell you, but I'm waiting for words of wisdom. Once I get some wisdom, I'm on my way. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Words of wisdom been come up.
Okay, I'm ready.
It takes both the rain and the sunshine to make a rainbow.
Just a minute. It takes both the
Rain and
and the
sunshine
sunshine to make a rainbow.
to make a rainbow.
That is just beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you. It takes both the sunshine and the rain to make a rainbow. Ladies and gentlemen, a sad story I want to tell you as I see it. You might not agree with me. Maybe you're looking at things out of different eyes, but certainly before I tell this story, I want to congratulate Mr. Gene Ford uh, and the leaders of the Greyhoff Club. Mrs. Dixon, Johnny Mae Dixon, Mr. and Mrs. T.C. Howard, and that group, because the Greyhoff Club consists of people from Grayson and Hoffman. They are getting ready to have a picnic. That picnic will be in the beautiful home on the beautiful, I call it a ranch of Mr. Gene Ford in Edmond, Oklahoma. And that will be on September the 4th. If you are from Grayson or Hoffman, contact Gene Ford or Helen Howard, T.C. Howard, Johnny Nixon, Betty Germany, Onita Brown, and tell them that you're from Hoffman and proud of it. All you want to know is what you're going to do at the picnic. It's a sad story, ladies and gentlemen, as I see it. Now, I want you to write this down and say, Clara Luper spoke as she saw it. I had the opportunity last week to go to Douglas High School for a big, what they call a big report meeting. When I arrived at Douglas High School, there was a meeting in the cafeteria. And when I got in the cafeteria, in a few minutes, one of the executives, a PhD, came and slammed a report in front of me and said, "Here." And I asked him, "Who are you?" Oh, he didn't like it. I didn't get his name, but he didn't like it one bit, because I thought, as a taxpayer, those of us that were sitting with me on that desk, on that long table, should have been respected. But he didn't respect us. And I'm going to find out his name, because I want to go straight to him. Because if he has a PhD degree, it must be a post-hole digger degree. But anyway, this is what I saw. Dr. Carol Hardeman stood in front of the group, consisting mostly of staff people, professional consultants, and a few blacks and a few whites that were not directly on the staff of the Board of Education. And Dr. Hardeman, in her eloquent way, made a beautiful report. She started with the history of Douglas High School, telling us that it started in 1891. And then she described some of the outstanding students that had graduated from Douglas High School. And then, ladies and gentlemen, she said that the school's name would be changed. It would no longer be known as Douglas High School, but Douglas Business and Law Academy. Well, I had to leave. I asked a question, because I'm from Hoffman, Oklahoma, and Grayson, Oklahoma. A lot of things I don't understand. So I said, "Dr. Hardeman, do you mean you're changing the name of Douglas High School?" And Dr. Hardeman said it would no longer be Douglas High School according to our recommendation. It would be called Douglas High Business and Law Academy. Well, I had to leave. I hate that. But then I went home and I immediately looked up what a school was, according to Webster. Webster said a school was a place of learning. And then I looked up academy. Webster said that academy is a private school, or a school that just specialized. And then I began to research, and one of my favorite people said, I asked the question, what's in a name? A corporation, institution, or individual's name is very important. That's why people struggle, deliberate, and meditate before naming a child. Because the parents want that child to grow up representing and living up to what that name means, and the same holds true for an institution. The name of a person or an organization's trademark, such as OU's logo, Langston's logo, that's used on hats and T-shirts, that's very important. That's why you can't use them unless the person or institution grants you permission. You see, there is something in a name. In a name represents excellence and a winning tradition. There is something in a name. Kia Automobiles represents inexpensive, affordable transportation to the masses, while Lexus automobiles represent expensive, quite high quality transportation. You see, there is something in a name. Frederick Douglass represents people with very humble, restricted beginnings who are able to overcome obstacles in spite of their circumstances with persistence, learning to read with such efficiency that Frederick Douglass became one of America's great orators and leaders. Frederick Douglass knew that if he learned to read, write, and perform mathematical functions, that he could achieve anything regardless of the circumstances. He did not represent specialized instructions, a group of special or privileged individuals, but the education of the masses and the total persons. You see, there is something in the name Frederick Douglass High School. Now, the question is, why change the name of Frederick Douglass? Oh, it's simple. To change the name of Frederick Douglass means to change the image of Frederick Douglass. Now, I want you to listen to me very carefully now, because when you think about a school, you think about a name and you associate. But then if you take that school out of context, call it something else, business and law. How can you operate a business and you don't have no collateral? How can you study law when you can't read and write? But look at the schools, and I wonder why they didn't think about changing the names of some of the schools. Well, let me tell you some of the schools that are named in Oklahoma City. There's Cleveland. It's named after Grover Cleveland, a president that did not have any blacks on his staff or anywhere else. Columbus, an Italian that found America. I don't know whether he discovered the Indians were already here. That was Calvin Coolidge, who was never associated with blacks in any way. There was Eisenhower, who was forced to take a stand in Little Rock, Arkansas after a lot of pressure. Fillmore, who cared nothing about blacks. Hayes, who led the movement to reconstruct, to turn the clock back after the Civil War. Lee, and I'm talking about Robert E. Lee, who was a general of the Civil War who fought to perpetuate slavery. I'm talking about Madison, a slave owner. I'm talking about Monroe, a slave owner. I'm talking about Polk, who would not allow black people nowhere near the Capitol. I'm talking about Horton, that cared nothing about black people. I'm talking about Herbert Hoover. Look at his records concerning black people, and the president that led us into one of the greatest depressions of all times. I'm talking about Jackson, Andrew Jackson, the big slave owner from Tennessee. I'm talking about Thomas Jefferson, a slave owner who wrote the Declaration of Independence, yet owned slaves. I'm talking about Taft. I could go on and on. But see, those are white people, and you have to watch those. Those are white people. I asked Mr. Clara, one of our board members, I said, Mr. Clara, you're talking about changing Douglas? And he told me that the two outstanding schools in Oklahoma City were Northeast and Classen. And I looked at him and I walked on off because I know there are some other outstanding schools in Oklahoma City. Fortunately, in NACP, we work with kids from all schools, and Classen and Northeast made no better showing than any other school. Now, what do you call a great school? One where students make grades on the white man's test that's geared toward white folks passing tests. But go around Oklahoma City and look. Look who's paying the taxes. Not those students that were valedictorians, but the average person. Now, I am saying that how dare you change Douglas High School? Can you imagine a football team? Where are you from? I'm from Douglas High, Douglas Academy of Business and Law. Well, why don't they change Nichols? What do they know about Nichols Hill? Who named that? I can tell you, G.A. Nichols, I think it was about 1930, when he made sure that the rich white folks would live on the outskirts of Oklahoma City. As I see it, as I see it, here's another movement to make black folks forget their history. I do not believe. Now, I don't know, but I don't believe the people in Oklahoma City are going to allow Douglas High School to change its name. Now, the argument is, oh, it's going to be a beautiful school. What's wrong with making a beautiful school under the name that F.D. Moon, Sadberry, Bro, Jenkins, and all of them worked to perpetuate that made it possible to have a school? Emmylou Freeman, who made it possible for blacks and white teachers to receive the same pay. And he said, we're going to make it beautiful. We are going to do this. Now, as I see it, if they were interested in making Douglas High School stand out, they would take Douglas High School and tell this public that we are adding law and business to the curriculum. We are going to look after the needs of this community. That's what we are going to do. I immediately contacted the superintendent, and I want to thank him for talking to me. He said that the superintendent of schools had nothing to do with recommending the change of names from Douglas High School. It came from the Board of Education. Now, let's look at the Board of Education. Let's look at it. You mean to tell me with 2 blacks on the Board of Education, those blacks... No, I'm not going to say that now, but I'll say it after a while. I would like to hear from them. Explain it to me. Explain why. Is it true that you're going to change the location of Douglas High School and put it in such a way that it will no longer face Martin Luther King, but it will face Northeast 10th Street, and nobody will have to know the names? Well, Lee Benson is here. He's in St. Louis, Missouri, and he's calling. Lee, Reverend Benson. Hello. Yes.
Good morning, Sister Luper. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine now that I hear your voice.
Well, bless you. You're the queen of human rights for all people. We appreciate you so much, Miss Luper. But we were calling this morning to see if we could remind the public of our ongoing political forum. It's going to be held at Fairview Monday evening at 7 o'clock. We're going to with our ongoing forum concerning the Pete beating, and then the political candidates that are running for various offices. They're going to be there. Anybody from those that are running from the governor to the district attorney's race, county commissioner, and we want to hold these officials accountable, and we want to give the public an opportunity to express their questions and to ask them about their views and their positions on things that are going on in our community.
And that's when now?
That's 7 o'clock Monday evening at the Fairview Baptist Church at the 1700 block on 7th Street, right off of 7th and Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay, now I understand you're in St. Louis.
Yes, we're here for our Progressive National Convention.
When are you coming home?
As we speak right now, we're rolling down the interstate, headed in that direction.
Okay, well, thank you. I'll see you when you get to Oklahoma City. And once again, you want people to be out for this political forum, right?
Yes. All the candidates that they may have questions, just like they had questions and answers when we had the forum for the Pete beating of the brutality, and they had questions during that time. Where they'll be given the same opportunity in the same forum. Some of them we couldn't get to everybody's questions. We will have a continuation of that in that forum Monday evening at 7 o'clock. So we are needing the community to come out in numbers. There's power in numbers, Sister Luper. You know that, being a veteran civil rights worker. And so we just thank you for all that you've done and your support.
Well, thank you so very kindly. Bye-bye. See you in Oklahoma City.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Luper.
Thank you. This is the Clara Luper radio show. And once again, I would like to ask you a question. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's good to erase all the black history. And Dr. Hardeman said, quoted a lot from Martin Luther King and Dr. Benjamin Hooks. Dr. Benjamin Hooks would turn over in his grave if someone would try to change the name of Morehouse College to Morehouse Academy. And she quoted Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. Martin Luther King wanted to perpetuate history. He told us on many occasions that we must save our history. But then, as a history teacher, I know what happened in Germany. In Germany, when Hitler took over, first thing he did, he changed the names of everything He changed the names. We've seen the movement in Oklahoma City with Calvary Baptist Church's name being changed, and now changing Douglas. So that's what I don't like it, and I wish Mrs. Thelma Parks, our black elected board member, Mr. Clara, our black elected member, would call and tell the people. See, this thing, I don't believe 50 or 60 people can make a decision for this community. I don't believe that the graduates of Douglas High School will allow a Board of Education to come in with their highly paid consultants and change the name of their school. Now, if they're interested in education, why can't you say that we're going to keep Douglas High School and improve the curriculum or add to the curriculum? No, wipe out your history. Oh, yes, they'll keep Dunbar because, Dunbar wrote in dialect. Most of his poems are in this and that. So they kept the name of Dunbar. But when you talk about Frederick Douglass, you're talking about an abolitionist. You're talking about a man that stood up for education. And now talking about a school. Douglas, oh, how would you do it? Will that be a football team? I guess you would say. Ladies and gentlemen, the football team of Douglas High Law and Business Academy is getting ready to play ball. What will happen to Douglas High School? What will happen? Oh, I don't know. I want to hear from you. The telephone number is 672. Lawyers will be working in that school. How many black business people? Oh, I don't know. Well, what's in the name? Call me at 672-1220. And a lot of people too scared to speak out. How many of you out there in radio land I graduated from Douglas High School? How many of you are going to stand by and let somebody take your name and throw it in the river? I remember when F.D. Moon was there and Dr. Sadberry and others, and they had a lot of black books. They brought in a white librarian, and she took all those books and threw them in the wastebasket. Are we going to let them throw the name that's meant so much to us since 1891 being thrown in the basket of amnesia? I wish Mrs. Parks and Mr. Clara, our representatives, would call and explain to you, the taxpayer. Yes, we talk about maps for education, but I don't believe that you could have got any votes over here for maps if they believe that you're going to change the name of Douglas High School to Douglas High Business and Law. Isn't that something? Most of the young lawyers in Oklahoma City, most of the lawyers are starving. And when I say starving, because business is bad. How about entrepreneurs? How many black entrepreneurs do you know? And now you're going to train a bunch. You better train them how to read, write, spell, and work arithmetic. This is Clara Luper, and this portion of our program is brought to you by my plumber, who's a real plumber. Who is a plumber? Comic Hurt Plumbing Company. Call 771-4875. I know I had some plumbing trouble, and he called me, and he gave me the news that I wanted to hear. Calvin, you're a graduate of Douglas High School.
And I'm a proud graduate. I'm just not a graduate.
Did
I'm
you
a
realize
proud
they're
graduate.
going to change the name of your school?
Well, Mom, I heard that. And it was one of the most saddest and one of the most disappointing things that I think the school board. At first, I was going to blame the city council, and then I was blaming the mayor, then I was blaming everybody. But where the responsibility really lies, and the responsibility lies there with our school board as to what's happening. Then I realized that, hey, I've been tricked. I'm not a graduate of John Marshall, and they're eliminating John Marshall. They want to eliminate John Marshall. Then I realized that Northeast High School, I'm not a graduate of that high school, but then they're changing the name of Northeast to something fancy. Then when I hear that they want to make Douglas an academy where they will be teaching lawyers and doctors, I said, oh, now this can't be real, because the majority of the graduates from Douglas High School, and I know a lot of graduates from 1955, 1954 on, that are graduates, they're not doctors, they're not lawyers. If they were, there'd be more black doctors, there'd be more black lawyers here in Oklahoma City. And then I thought of integration. And when integration came and to see the first white students going to Douglas High School, hey, these kids didn't graduate from Douglas, become doctors and lawyers. But what they did do, what they have done, is that they've gone out and been a productive part of the community with a new sense of pride for Douglas High School. Now, I don't know what's going on down there with the school board. I don't know what's going on with our money. They may be going to change the name of Douglas to like they did the Myriad. They may be selling the name of the school. You don't know. I don't know. And it's not my fault I don't know. It's just the fact that the school board's meetings and stuff are an inconvenient time. As a regular citizen, I have to take my representative's words for things that are going on. But then they might be selling the name of the high schools. They might be doing all kind of things there. But it would be another disgrace for the black community to lose the name of Douglas High School. We've lost Truman Elementary School. We've lost Dunbar.
Truman was named after a president of the United States that eliminated segregation with an executive order.
Well, that might have been the reason it was lost, but it's gone. There's nothing there but weeds in the old building that they say can't be repaired. When all over the nation, right here in Oklahoma City, we're taking old buildings and restoring them from the inside out. Hey, it's our tax money. You're our representatives. It's our tax dollars. Then what's so funny is that the people that are doing the renovation in the building, of color, they are not. Colored representatives or black people representing, maybe one or two working on the site, hey, that's possible. But then that's not really what's happening here in Oklahoma City. It's a sad day. It's a sad time. But then the highlight of the week has been Reverend Jemison. That has been the highlight of it. And then another highlight is that we have some great things that will be happening this week that we'll be talking about. But the sad part is the audacity of the people in power to
No, not the people. The superintendent told me that would rest with the Board of Education.
Well, they're in power. They hired a superintendent. The superintendent is hired because the board wants him. So the board, our representative, the people's representative, it's a sad time that they would even think. That they thought of demolishing the building, not being able to renovate it inside out. Demolishing the John Marshall, another school with a strong black tradition. Demolishing...
Moving out the black community.
Yeah. Hurting Northeast, eliminating the name of Northeast High School, adding some more academy or whatever it is to that name. But all you're doing is watering down the black influence, the black power, the black history that exists here in Oklahoma City. It's a sad day. But then I guess that makes us sad citizens with sad representatives.
This is the Clara Luper radio show, and this part of the show is being brought to you by Robert Gates of Gates Barbershop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City. Robert Gates, 2609 North Martin Luther King, and there you have some master barbers that's waiting on you. Go to 2609 North Martin Luther King.
But in line what we're talking about, it always comes. I have a friend. He always said, "Now, what are you going to do about it?" And then
I'm asking the people in Oklahoma City.
Well, what can our people do?
They can do.
What can we do?
I'm not going to do like a certain president. We have somebody on the telephone, and I want to say it loud. I think it's a disgrace, and I'm ashamed of the board members. That's all. Hello?
Hello? The people
yes.
voted for him.
I called to make a comment on the change of Douglas High School. I went to Douglas High School in Gary, Oklahoma. We knew the history of Frederick Douglass. We felt very, very proud. We do know that change is going to come. Wonder what would happen if they would change the name of Jesus to something else. There are some things that's in history that should remain. And when we would come to Oklahoma City and go to Douglas High School, we felt very proud. We could see the name from Eastern Avenue. I persuade these people that are making these drastic changes to use their common sense of history and do what the people on the northeast side of town want. We do not want Douglas Academy of Law and Business. We want them to educate our children to read and to think and to prioritize and become responsible citizens. Do not change Douglas High School. I'm Anna Slaughter. Thank you.
Have you heard a member of the Board of Education speak on that?
I heard Miss Parks on TV, a little beat they had on there, and she was saying about what it was going to lead to for students at the Douglas Academy of Law and Business. We are going to teach them Where are you going to teach them to find jobs? They have to leave Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, to go to other states to find jobs in law and business. Supposing they want to stay here in Oklahoma City. Supposing they want to take your place, Ms. Parks, as a member on the Board of Education. What do they do?
Did she recommend changing the name of Thelma Park School to Thelma Parks Academy?
All she said was that she was Thelma Parks. They said Thelma Parks, and she said what she said about what they intend to do with the Academy of Law and Business for the students. First, you must teach them to read, to think, to prioritize, and then let them make a decision as to whether they want to be a lawyer or a businessman or a doctor or a teacher. That's up to them. So you get students in there and they become frustrated because they can't work under those circumstances. Yes, add law and business to your curriculum, but please, just don't center everything on law and business. Just common everyday people come out of high school. They function as responsible citizens. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Well, that's one person that see it as I see it.
And did not bite her tongue.
And did not bite her tongue. She has courage. Where are the other courageous people?
Well, I think, my one thing, too, that we must realize is that there at 900 North Klein, we have a lot of PhDs. I mean, we got a PhD probably every other door there in our administration in Oklahoma City in Oklahoma City. And I think we might be overloaded with education because evidently they're forgetting a lot of things. Some of the high school and junior high school and elementary students you meet, they have a difficult time reading, according to the test results, according to seeing them in different places. The math knowledge is down. The math skills are down. So we might be being educated by the overeducated. And we may be it's kind of like overcooking a steak. It starts out as a beautiful steak, but then you leave it on the fire too long, you don't have anything that's worthy of eating. That might be what's happening with our public school system. That might be what's happening there at the board. Somebody, somewhere, has got to come back to basics. And I know that here in Oklahoma City, and I've always felt, when we elected our representatives, I felt like that they had a pulse on the heartbeat of our people, of their different districts. Now, if we in Oklahoma City, in this district that Mrs. Parks represents, and that, what's the other guy's name? Brother Clara's represent, if we are willing to allow them to change the name of it, then it is our fault. If they're saying what we have told them to say, then we have a problem here where we're forgetting our own black history. And there's an old saying that if you don't know where you come from, you sure don't know where you're going.
Well, I would rather, and Dr. Hardeman said in her presentation that she works at a university and that there are students that don't know about Thurgood Marshall and Rosie Parks. But let me tell you something. The students that went to Douglas High School know about F.B. Moon. They know about Dr. Sadberry. They know about Dr. Todd and others, and they are more closely related to those people. Yes, than they are Thurgood Marshall and others. Well, I want to hear from you. If you aren't too scared to talk, the telephone number is 672-1220. How do you graduates feel about changing the name of Douglas High School? Can you see a football team with only black
Academy?
Douglas.
Oh, Mom, speaking of football teams and Douglas, I saw the prettiest, the most beautiful T-shirt that I've ever seen from Douglas High School. I have to give them credit. That Douglas High School class of 1957 has the prettiest T-shirt honoring their reunion that you've ever seen. I mean, it looks like their class ring did back then. And then, you know what, they also had a petition that they circulated during the course of their reunion activities that hopefully we'll be seeing some parts of, but they're sending that to the school board, expressing their opinions on changing the name of their school. But that T-shirt that they have, that is a thing that belongs in the Douglas High School Hall of Fame. And, you know, as I was talking with one of the graduates in 1957, we wondered what would happen to the trophies and the...
Oh, they would throw them away, just like they did the black history. They aren't perpetuating no history of Douglas High School because they say it's a new day and new opportunities.
Sad.
What's
sad,
in a
sad.
name? Everything is in a name. Well, one thing about it,
Getting
we have
close.
told you what we have thought. An academy, according to Webster, is a private school. Make your kids feel important. Why do you go to school? I go to academy. Okay, spell cat. I'm sorry, I can't spell cat. This
They
is
didn't
Clara
teach
Luper.
us that.
No, they didn't teach us that.
Okay.
Do you have any manners? Oh, no, we don't have any manners. Do you
you-
know how to say thank you? Oh, no, we don't know that.
You know anything
But
about
I'm-
upholstery? You know
Oh,
anything
no.
about auto mechanics? You know, your math, 2 plus 2 plus 1 equals, I don't
you
know.
imagine-
I need a computer.
Can you imagine Douglas High School without the person that taught upholstery, bricklaying? Well, this is I can't describe it, but I know one thing. I would like for Mrs. Parks and Mr. Clara to call me.
No, you dreaming, Ma.
No, I would like for them to call me and explain to
You're
me,
dreaming.
because
Mrs.
I'm
Parks,
from Hoffman, Oklahoma.
She hasn't
And,
called you, won't call you, will
she
not
might call me and tell me, well, I'm in a minority. So is one of your teeth.
Okay.
In a minority, but if that tooth is hurting, you're in serious trouble. And I think the people, the minorities, will be hurting if we change the name of the school.
We need history, and if we don't understand our past, if we aren't proud of our past, then it's a very
Well,
dismal
Douglas,
future.
they are so proud of their past, they want to change the name.
Well, then
hello,
we need to let 'em know.
hello.
Hello,
Yes,
Miss Luper.
yes.
Yeah, how you doing?
Oh, I'm fine.
This is Ralph.
Yes.
We had to talk to you about the deal that went on in Chandler,
You know
Oklahoma.
you got to turn your radio down, man. You know that. You knew that when you called. Come
Okay.
on.
Okay, you want to talk about Douglas High School?
Yeah,
Okay, let's start talking, brother.
yeah. I grew up around Douglas High School. I think it's wrong for them to change the name of all these schools and different things in Oklahoma, because there's a lot of racist stuff going on. And if they take all of the names and all of the things that has stood for him to get down through the years, we don't have anything. You know, I just moved back to Oklahoma City in my mother's house, and I've been intending to get over there and call you and talk to you and find out where that I need to go and register to vote, because we definitely need to stick together and make a difference in Oklahoma. There's a lot going on in Oklahoma that's not fair.
So you aren't in favor of changing the name of Douglas High School to Douglas High Business and Law Academy.
I am opposed to that. I do not think they shouldn't change. They shouldn't change the name.
But you are in favor of them improving the curriculum, right?
Right, right.
Okay, well, thank you, and let me hear from someone else. Let the people speak. That's what I say. Let the people speak.
Well,
Calvin,
yeah.
we have a young man that's running for the House of Representatives.
For the House of
Yes,
Representatives.
Mr.
You know-
Claves.
Oh, that's the United States House of
Yeah,
Representatives.
Brandon Claves for Congress.
that name sure
He's
sounds
running for the
familiar.
4th Congressional District. Now, he's a man that's believe in America, believe in dreams, and believe that they can be accomplished through vision, hard work, and tenacity. He believes that he can make a difference, and he is a political newcomer. He has integrity, character, and an honest work ethic.
That name
He-
sure sounds familiar. Mom.
Yes, he is from Midwest City, and what he is asking you to do is to go out and vote for Brandon Claves for Congress. You may call 769-6012, and that's a paid announcement, paid for by friends of Brandon Claves. Vote for somebody
Brandon,
you
that
know.
name sure
Look
sounds
at the
familiar.
record.
That name sure
Look
sounds familiar.
at the
But Mom, we
record.
have another call on the line.
Okay.
That Claves name sure sounds familiar, though.
Hello?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Coco Thomas, your fantastic reporter. The NAACP Youth Council meetings are every Monday night at 7 o'clock. And as secretary, I'm inviting you to come and join us and learn something new. Also, the Freddie Fiesta is coming up, so I'm asking for your support and your help to do whatever you can. Also, I would like to congratulate Pastor M.L. Zimmerson of becoming the president of the Progressive National Baptist Church nationally. This is Coco Thomas, your fantastic reporter.
Well, thank you, Coco. Every year since 1958, we have celebrated the beginning of the sit-in movement, which started August 19, 1958. That's the movement that made it possible for somebody as black as me and as black as you to go into restaurants, hotels, and what have you. Now, we are celebrating because we want to remind you of the physical, mental, jail arrest, sore feet, tired bodies, to what we went through. We too sing America in spite of what we've gone through. On Sunday, August the 18th, it will be Doc Williams Day. Mrs. Boozy Walker is in charge. It will be held at Quails United Methodist Church at 50th and Everett. The speaker will be the Honorable Reverend Young. On Monday, August the 19th, is Attorney John Green's Day with Mrs. Rosetta Coleman's seasonal cake-a-rama, where you can buy a cake of your birth month. That will be held at Freedom Center. On Tuesday, Cecil L. Williams Day, Get Out the Vote with Mrs. Wilbur Ford and Miss Wilma Ray, and they will be having a salad-a-rama. On Wednesday is President's Day, and that will be held at True Vines Ministries. On August the 22nd is Sit-Inners Day with Mrs. Gloria Matthews, who has a program that's out of sight. And she invites you to call her at 424-4656. She wants to get in contact with all the sit-inners. On Friday, August the 23rd, is Lady Ruth Hunter, Nancy Davis, and Lillian Oliver's Day. There will be a pancake breakfast at 7:30. There will be a fashion show at 7 o'clock. They will crown the Queen and King of the Freedom Fiesta. But on Saturday, August the 24th, is Clara Luper's Day. And that's your day because Clara Luper is whatever you have made out of her. There will be a parade at 10:30 with Burley and Nero. And there will be an open house at Freedom Center. There will also be a big dinner, the Clara Luper Freedom Fiesta dinner. Mrs. Catherine Ford, Mr. Robert Gates, Mr. Rodale Hornbeak, Mrs. Lady Ruth Hunter, Reverend Jerry Mash, and Mrs. Maxine Stale will be honored. Now, you haven't seen nothing until you see this dinner. It will be on August the 24th, and we have to celebrate the Freedom Fiesta during the time that it started.
That Freedom Fiesta dinner Saturday, that Sit-Inners Day, that Wednesday, that Cake-a-rama, the Salad-a-rama.
It will be a celebration. Now, if you don't believe that, no, I won't.
Well, Mom, you know one thing
because
about
I know you are going to support us. You've always supported. Count somebody wants to speak. Let's hear it.
Hello?
Yes. Hello?
This is Earl Smith, the bricklayer that you know, Smitty. And I was calling in behalf of Douglas School. I wanted some of the main reason that I feel like it's very important for it to be left open. One, my son graduated from there and was eligible to go to work at Tinkerfield as an airplane mechanic.
All right.
Another one, Floyd Miller, was graduated from there, was one of the best artists in our community.
Yes.
And many others that I have been aware of since I've been on in Smitty's construction, coming from Walter Henderson, Fair and Hill, John H. Lawton, that we've employed many children from the school and had always had best results. Douglas should remain as it is.
And no,
we've had too many schools in the black community closed and names changed. You can go far and near and recognize Douglas, children from Douglas in California, Chicago, all over.
Okay. Well, I might have to go. Thank you.
Our school the same. Thank
we
you,
got to call the Board of Education. Thank you. Calvin, I know you want to say.
That is so true. Have a good day.
Well, thank you.
Mom, one thing about Douglas High School, one thing that I learned during my tenure there was that I could not sing. Got kicked out the choir practice room. They told, don't you come here with that. But then good things have happened. You know, we had a caller that said maybe they ought to change the name of Millwood to Remington Park High School, bring about another change there. But then this is a special week, special time. Hey, I want to extend our sympathies and our heartfelt sympathies to the families of Reverend Frank Waters, to the James Chiron family, and to David Irvin Jr.'s family. Birthday celebrations are here, Mom, because this is a week.
Today is Shelley's birthday.
Today is Shelley Marie Luper Wilson's birthday. She turns the elderly age of, Calvin, if you tell it, I'll shoot you. But Shelley's birthday is today. Judge Luther Bohannon is celebrating his 100th birthday this week. Marva Nunley, she's not nowhere near 100, but she's 100, but she's celebrating her birthday. And then there's the Reverend Bosch Jones, a good friend of Dobelli's, who's celebrating his birthday today.
Sing out of your heart today.
Happy birthday, dear Shelley. Happy birthday, Judge Bohannon. Happy birthday, Marva Jean. And happy birthday, Reverend Jones. And may you have many more.
This is Clara Luper saying Douglas High School, 1891. Douglas High School forever. Add to the curriculum, but don't destroy our